This is your daily market recap for Monday, December 12th, 2022. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trade Agent. This is your daily market recap for Monday, December 12th, 2022. Hopefully you had a good day. If you are newer to the channel, please subscribe, like, hit the notification bell. Put out a video today. Emotional capital, what is it and are you wasting it constantly? Today was one of those days where a lot of people had a lot of thoughts, interests, ideas. I told people I just going to sit on the sideline, kind of let it play out. As we all know, we have CPI tomorrow on Tuesday, FOMC on Wednesday, Thursday, big day today. And typically the FOMC day has now lost its luster, and the Thursday is usually the true move. And then it's quad witching OPEX as well. So if you like pain, frustration, and lots of doubting yourself, well, that's what today probably brought you. Now, again, we've said many times that I anticipate chop. I personally think we probably get a rally into some sort of January peak, potentially, because there is a lot of bearishness. Am I surprised we close near the high of the day? No, not really, but I'm also not going to be surprised by whatever happens the next couple of days. If you miss some of the move, you miss some of the move. Again, the first mouse gets the trap, the second mouse gets the cheese. Let's be thoughtful. Let's be smart. I know a lot of people who just want to trade, and I'm telling you right now, that's what the market makers want. They want you to play in the casino. They want you to just do something every day, every minute, every hour. If you're thinking this like from poker analogies, it's like you're playing too many pots. And guess what? You know what? If the market decides to do certain things and we miss it, so damn be it. It's been a great year already. Not going to sit around here and try to squeeze extra lemon juice or juice out of a lemon if there's nothing there. And if it ends up being a pomegranate, we'll get it. We'll figure it out. We always do. So on that note, if you're trying to join the Discord room, I've kept it shut down. And also, to the people in the Discord room, if you're watching, I want people to be involved. Now, again, that doesn't mean you have to post every day, but I want to know that you're learning, you're trying, because ultimately the goal is to cut this down to 30 people, not 100. Whatever, 100 and I don't know how many people are here. 15 interacting. Yeah, 130 people. Like, it's going to get cut pretty quickly in time. So I'd like to see that you're learning, what you're up to, and get involved again, because you can hang out and watch any of this and follow, say, on Twitter, where we post all our ideas. You know, if you want to follow, you can there. If you're new to trading, hey, check out the educational videos, just like we did another one today. You know, that whole thing about emotional capital, right? Like, that is there. So let me know how I can help if you're around. I just ask people, if you want to be involved in the Discord room, do me a favor, get involved, say something. Let me know that you're breathing, you're alive, you're learning something, you got something to share with folks. So Bitcoin, dead. Moving on. I mean, there's nothing to say. Watch the previous recaps. It's dead money. Oil, nice little bounce back. We talked about this over the weekend, that channel low coming down from 83 down to whatever, 70. Probably going to bounce. I would watch what happens in the mid 70s. I personally have just decided in my mind I will watch, pay attention, relax. Now, if you're not familiar, and here's something that I think a lot of people probably haven't done, go check out 2008, 2009 with oil. You'll see at the lows in the market, December, or not the lows, but oil peaked in January, the lows, but it was pretty damn choppy before it really started to catch a bid. So if you think about that monthly candle, let's go look at now, right? Oh, come on, you can do it. Yes. What does this look like? It looks like this candle right here from December, right? Big red, long wick, potentially, right? Or a decent little wick, whatever. John Wick, whatever. So just have in the back of your mind, right? Oil can chop. Because if the Feds decide to raise and it seems like they're weak, the economy is going to get weak from it, then what do you want to do? You probably want to be late. So again, always like to take notes, be thoughtful of things. And a lot of people, I mean, I know this is hard. We don't know for anything for sure. And people are like, whoa, you can't say you don't know anything for sure. Well, that's the damn truth. Playing probabilities, trying to use the past. And so if you're looking at oil from that perspective, sorry, I had to grab a new pen. Oil can chop. I just want to make people aware of that monthly. And then bottom in January, that could happen. Now, does that lead to the market crashing? We don't know. Personally, don't know. I mean, it kind of leaves you multiple variables potential, right? Like probabilities wise, like how much more downside is in oil? Well, January coming up shortly. I mean, I don't know. It's not probably going much below 60. Let's just call it what it is. If you have any questions about that, I always say consult the past. You know, like in my opinion, the Feds are going to do what they're going to do to raise to get to their peak rate hikes. And after that, they're going to react to the economy. If they pivot, that means the market and the economy hit the shitter quick. Rolling over. Things getting worse. Keep in mind, if they just hit terminal velocity and chill, well, that could be the end of the rate hikes too. We don't know. And what would take the market down later ultimately would probably be inflation and them having to do more raising. You know, if that's the case, we'll start looking back at the 70s. That's really what happened then. Nat gas popped, holding up. Is it head and shoulders? Is it just chop action like last year? You know, you had this wide rangey choppiness. I mean, it didn't really bottom until March. Yeah, natural gas is a wild one. Can't chase it, but you see reference points. It seems to be holding them. It just doesn't happen all in one day. So keep that in mind. If you have any questions, be thoughtful. Stop by the Discord if you're in it, or hit me up on any social media outlet. I am available. The dollar, we've said this many times. No one thought this was going to be bearish except for us. We talked about the 200-day. Well, it's just chopping here. The next couple of days are really going to determine what the dollar is going to do. And in that case, if you want to go long, you tighten it up. Or if you want to go short. I mean, again, I personally have really no play. I'm just watching the dollar. So your guess is as good as mine here. It's probably going to bounce at some point. From there, is it dump? That's the question. I personally think whatever the high ends up being will be next year, probably somewhere higher than, say, 30.75. Whatever on the Dixie, 113, whatever, 114. I can't remember the numbers. I'm not looking at it. But you know what I mean. TLT. Chopping. Again, this is the theme of this video. Emotional capital, wasting it. Trying to overanalyze before the news. First mouse gets the trap, potentially. TLT, no bounce. Bounce, closed right back to the low day. It's at support. I still think you could somehow get a little higher, maybe fill this gap, get into the 200-day maybe in time. But beware. The market and bonds have followed each other. You're at these inflection points where you go, I don't freaking know. And if you don't know, you just relax. VIX, talked about it popping. Here you go. Not surprised. Popping into what's coming. We'll see. Open at the low, close at the high. CPI data has been tough read. Now, if this thing pops and the market dumps, we got to know our ranges, right? So this is what I'd be watching. Like, you know, we talked about a pop coming off the low and then a chop bottom, right? Chop bottom. Chop bottom. Chop bottom. Chop bottoms. I got it. Chop bottoms. They get it. So that's where you could take the market back up to whatever it was at. And so whatever was it at, well, let's look at it. SPY. Could it get back to the 410? I mean, I think it still could get, I'd love to see it make a slightly higher high, get up to the 415. VAP, volume at price area. At worst, get back up to 405. Near term. Now, again, we got to let the evidence play out. This is not what people want to hear. This is not what they want to do. This is how they want to assume. Well, here you go. Back to 20-day, 100-day, 20-day, 100-day. Closes at the high of the day. You know, the first move in a trap is the trap. We shall see if that's the case. This is easy to watch from the sidelines. I know a lot of people go, I missed the move. Well, guess what? Then you probably have to look for shorts as it gets higher, or you just wait. See what happens. Remember, it is OPEX. If it's not choppy, I will be mind boggled because that's the typical situation here. So again, watch the 390, 388, maybe like a blowout trap. If we gap down tomorrow, Watch what happens. Maybe it just hits this gap like to a T. Watch what happens, because the market could play games into OPEX. Now, what would that take the VIX? I mean, if it gapped down tomorrow, probably take you up into the 25s, maybe this old like trend line, 25, 26. That's what I'd be watching for. Now, is it going to scream higher? Is this a professional gap? No, be careful. Because this is what you'd like to see if you wanted to see some nice shorts, right? Like the VIX collapse and then boom. But we're at this point where, again, end of the year, you've done well. Do you want to try to predict the unpredictable? Meaning you want to take gambles at what's going to happen versus just be the second mouse. Let's see how it plays out. Because it might shoot higher and give us a great short opportunity. Or maybe it dumps and it gives us great long opportunities. You have to be thoughtful of that. A lot of people aren't. So watch the levels. Worst case scenario, pops and flops to there. Maybe hits the upside target zone, even higher. Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, a lot of people are looking at the data and trying to read the tea leaves, and people go, well, what do you think? And I'm like, I don't do that anymore, because I used to spend hours. Then it was like, wrong. It's like, just let it play out. Wrong. Hey, I've got all this information. Everything looks great. I think I know 100% certainty what the reaction is going to be. Wrong. No, just you learn and you live and you learn. You lose and you learn, right? Qs 20-day, maybe back up into the 290s again, mid 290s. Maybe up to the 200-day. That would be freaking stellar. IWM, nice little bounce. Made a lower low, closing, chopping around. Remember, watching for lagging. So if the market takes rips up towards the high, we want to see this lag if you want to be bearish. Gold, not surprised. Talked about it being maybe a double top, chopping. Well, here you go. Gaps down, chops. Ominous. Very ominous for gold this time of year, seasonality-wise, because if it does gap, this is a professional gap. I mean, you got downside. Yeah, I'm just kind of dragging it down, as you can see. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised, because if you are, I don't know why. But remember, we talked about this on the monthly, though, too. Check this out. Hitting the 20-month after a huge green candle. Right? It's probably going to pull back. There you go. Keep it simple, stupid. Silver, holding up pretty well. Right? Not surprised. Okay, well, let's see what happens here. Silver can lead or lag. At this point, it's tough to know. No volume. Doesn't look really distributive. Doesn't really look like much. Your guess, good as mine. GDXJ. I mean, sometimes it's just hard. You want to try to predict everything. I mean, Livermore says if you think you can predict the market every day of every day of the year, or know every move that's coming, you're eventually going to find yourself in the smack spot. GDXJ, holding the 20-day, watch it. If it breaks it, adios. Comes back down to the 32, 33 area pretty damn quick. GDX. Hammer at the 20-day, not surprised. I mean, it's just making lower highs and lower lows. Things that just look bearish. Nothing to worry about. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, doesn't look great. AG, we talked about this name should be like flying at the highs. No, it gapped down below its channel at the 50-day. Something looks wrong here. Something ain't right. AEM flatlining, flat call, flat chop. Gaps down, closes back up. Yeah. It's just choppy, sloppy action. Your guess is good as mine. People are like, you can't say that. I mean, like, no, I can't tell you within 100% certainty that I know for sure something is going to happen, because I'm not going to play that game. I'm not some fake trader who's going to go, oh, it's bullish, it's bearish, it's bull. No, I'm not Kramer. I can't say all the time. Newmont dropped, closed back at the 20-day. Not surprised. I mean, it went from 49, got down to 45s. 10% pretty quickly, even though gold is holding up. Silver near the high of the range. Not surprised. Chopping. PAAS. Chop. Makes a new low. Closes at the 100-day. I mean, this is just, it's like playing 2-7 offsuit right now. It's just for poker analogies. I don't know. Your guess is good as mine. And you want to gamble to hit the flop? Hit two, try to hit 3 of a kind on the flop. I mean, with your 7s or your 10s. I don't know. X. Talked about watching what happened to 200-day. Look at it. Dink. Hit it perfectly. Bounced. You're welcome. At this point, again, I don't know. I mean, you just don't know how the Feds are going to play out. You don't know the CPI. You don't know how the Quad X. We do know choppiness. So if this is the range lows, well, this is maybe the range highs. Same thing for like X. They could just chop around. And if that's what you want to do is play the chop range, go right ahead. I mean, I understand the reasoning. I just don't have the time. In my like busy life, my world, I just don't want to overtrade. VALE, this is interesting because this would imply some dollar strengthening company potentially. This is a gap down. Remember, VALE, emerging market, Brazilian company, been acting strong. Today's gap, not very good, like the action. So keep an eye on it. Arrow, I saw this one was like rising pretty much all day. Back at the channel high. Cool beans. Is it going to break out? Question mark. I don't know. CCJ. This thing's been absolute dog crap, right? Just going nowhere. I mean, all that fusion. Is it fission or fusion? Fusion. That's fusion. Fusion food. Fission and fusion. Oh, whatever. Uranium. No guarantee. We'll see. Needs to hold these lows. A lot of people want a lot to say today. Yeah, I don't know. CCJ or CF said, hey, probably going a whole lot of nowhere. Be careful. Hits the channel range lows. Goes below 200 today. Dojis. Need more information. Not really a fan of the 10-minute close on CF CF. I mean, it looked like it got liquidated. Check it out on the 10-minute. Like, hey, slap. I don't want to. That's not what you want to see, but we'll see. In the sense of, who knows? Mosaic, chop it, Joe, slop it, Joe, chopping at the range of lows. I mean, all these names. I mean, you could take stabs at these, but you are just rolling dice. If that's the point of the year you're in, you want to roll dice, you go right ahead. D Max is gonna just chill out and see what happens. Play whatever comes our way. NTR holding up pretty good, chopping again at multiple chop zones. You go, well, could it get back to 70? I don't know. It's holding up pretty damn strong. I would probably anticipate a negative Ghost Rider. Pattern's full, but we don't know what the hell's going to happen in the market. So it's just roll the dice. AAA, we talked about 43, 44 area. You're welcome. Gets down there, closes at the high of the day. Interesting. Now, could this be an outside reversal candle to turn higher? You bet your ass it could be. But it also could be, what? Chopping. And, you could maybe test back to the 42. The market. When you don't know the market direction, you got to be very careful trying to overplay your hand, essentially. Right? That's what we're doing here. If you're kind of calling the market's bluff, but the problem is you have limited chips. And so you better hit on the turn. Like, I'm going to do a lot of poker analogies, okay? Like, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to call the market's bluff, but you don't know which way they're going to bluff it first. More likely, there will be a bluff. Could it last a day? Absolutely. Could we close at the high of the day tomorrow? And who knows what it's at? Maybe. And then Fed Pal says this, and then Thursday does that. Yep. Chop X, baby. XBI, if anyone asks me about this in the Discord room, I will reference the recaps and just say, Chop City, leave it alone. It just doesn't look like it's ready for game time. XLF, we talked about wanting to see a rally, right? Holds the box, 200-day area. Watch the 20-day, right? Watch it. Let's hope for a pull out. Because, again, if the market is going bear market negative later, shorting the financials up near the range highs would be top titties. 30, mid 35s, 36 area. Did I say that out loud? Oops. Mosaic. Microsoft. No. Morgan Stanley. Shit. Whatever. Yeah, you want to take shabs? Let's see it in the 90s. That looks way better. Well, again, but are you a little early? Maybe. You might be a little late. Who knows? Here you go with JP Morgan. Again, we said we wanted to get back up into the range highs. Could these names make new highs? That would be sweet. I mean, I would rather take them nearer the highs. Like, so, for example, Morgan Stanley or JP Morgan. Like, let them try to get back up here, right? Let them try to get back up here. Maybe they even get a little higher. Oh, that'd be a gift. Because again, ultimately, if the market is going to roll over, financials, banks are going to get absolutely slaughtered. Interest rates would go down, market would get scared, commodity stuff would get slammed near term, and then the Feds would pivot and commodities would rally, interest rates would bottom, banks would start to catch bids, thinking that they're going to be supportive. We'll see. I mean, it's the routine playbook, but at this point, man, wow, a lot of distribution. I'm looking at the 10-minute again. I mean, there's someone dumped 2.4 million shares of this at the close. I guess that isn't a lot. Was it 24 million? Oh, whoa. 24 million. Check that out on the 10-minute. Wow. Fine. I'll show you. Someone's like, oh, show us, Dan. Here you go. Fine. 23 million. Close enough to 24. Something fishy. Just be aware of that. Some reason I skipped tech, but I'm not going to skip it. I'm going to get right into it. AMD. AM Dizzle. That opens low, close high. Not surprised. Putting Taiwan Semi back on here because this one to me looks real interesting for short. Because if there's going to be Chinese issues and America's going to try to push for their chip manufacturing to be more in the United States, then Taiwan Semi got a problem, homie. So let's put this on the radar, watching the low mid 80s, okay? I like this. Keep an eye on it because if the market rolls, semis are dust. What we talked about, check the monthly. Everyone, I mean, I'm trying to remember was Taiwan Semi even IPO'd in the 2000s? Yeah, look at that thing. 26 down to $3 or $4. Yeah, I mean, you got to remember, semis get toasted when a bear market happens in tech because semiconductors become literally a commodity. Everyone's making great chips at a certain point. And they just compete against each other by cutting prices constantly. NVIDIA. Somebody was really excited about shorting this on Friday. And as I thought, here you go. You're up at 175 again. I wouldn't have been that excited. Again, because why? Why, Dan, would you not be excited for someone shorting this on Friday when it looked great? Because gosh darn it, the Fed's coming. The CPI's coming. It's quad witching OPEX. You got excited. I didn't. And, you meaning the general public as well, people getting excited, oh, this is a rollover, invalidated, now you're in the tank going, what the hell? SMH, here you go, you wanted that rally, you got that rally, son. 200-day getting close. If you want to start putting the shorts, don't put the lotion in the basket kind of thing. We'll see. I mean, I personally have said this over and over and over. The best short for me would be a breakout and fail, or a breakdown and a rally back into next year. It's really that simple. This in-between crap just leaves me nothing to do, unless you want to trade for pennies and dollars and just sprinkle change and try to cut off some bread here and there. I get it, but I'm not interested. SMH, chop. Adobe, some of these software names are up today. I don't know why. There's probably some news. I just really didn't give too much of a crap about the market today. Again, I expect it to close up. Instead we talked about it. If it goes range low, it can go range high, it can chop around. Again, wow, another big red 10-minute close. Interesting. Adobe looks okay. I wonder if it was JP Morgan dumping stocks. Those sneaky son of a bitches. Apple. Look at this. Just wiki, choppy, sloppy. I mean, I'm starting to think that this isn't the trend line. It's something around this, oops, sorry. Something like that now. I mean, that looks actually better to me. Let's thicken that up. But you changed it. Yeah, it's because it's clearly wasn't holding that previous one, but now it keeps holding this, so yikes. Pray for 155s. I think that's the better play. Amazon, closed at the high of the day. Wow, look at it. Man, someone's selling at the end of the day, too. Dark pool money going through. Choppy, sloppy. That's tough to know. CRM, pop 2 points. Yay. Talked about if there's the channel low, it should rally. Maybe back to the 142s. Guggenstein. I don't know why I say that. I have Jewish heritage, so I like to say Stein and throw that on the Guggenstein. Sounds like Guggenheim. which isn't probably no. Trying to remember Guggenheim, the nature where they're from. Got a lot of German, Polish, Jew background on one side of my family. Holding pattern 92. Not surprised. Been down a few days. Meta flopping, chopping. 20-day, 50-day. Good luck. Mr. Softy rallied strongly today. Damn, they sold the close too. Here you go. Come on back. I telling you, see the 260s, whatever. Gift from the gods. Love to see that, because then it could be like this slightly higher high to blow off. I'm trying to think about this. August, September, October. Yeah, what if you got the peak in January on these? Like, think of this like recurring pattern where you get chop, 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 chop. Chop, 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 chop. Right? What was this? OPEX? No. Huh. Yeah, what if you got that reoccurring? Because I'm starting to see it. Like, and this is what people always tell me. Like, the vision gets better as time goes by, right? Like, reoccurring July, down, up, August, peak. Well, why are you saying that? Damn, because, it's an end of a quarter, right? Start of a quarter. Murder. Like, could this be the exact, again, pretend Microsoft is the market. Let me go back to the market just so I can show you guys. A lot of people are like, I can't see the difference. This right here, like this kind of choppy, sloppy, rally, floppity, flop. Could it happen? That's another possibility. Because remember, there's always seasonality that you have to be aware of, and you have to be aware of OPEX, and you have to be aware of first and last 3 business days of the month, the markups, all that kind of stuff. NDAQ, yes, rallied. Yes. Thought we missed the bottom, or missed the top. Here you go. Rallied up. Cool. Looking for shorts on this one, baby. Come on. I love to see this lighter volume rally, too. Looks like an anomaly, right? Look at all the bigger selling down candles. Whee! Lighter volume rise. MicroStrategy. Bitcoin, dead. Sadly. Chapping. Nothing. Netflix popped up, flopped. Yeah, on Friday, this one held some little bit of support. Still trying to be patient on it. Might miss it. Roblox, I've said many times, I think this has got something going on with it at some point, especially if Microsoft deal doesn't go through with whatever the company that makes Call of Duty. This looks interesting. Like, chopping, maybe a pop. We'll see. Keep an eye on it. Tesla. Jesus, unloads. Someone was like, oh, I'm trading around it. I think it's a good trade. All right, well, it's a great trade if you got in and you got out. Absolutely. No doubt. If you held this at all, you got bludgeoned and you got stopped out probably for a small loss or break even. And that sucks because that's what you're worried about in this choppy environment. As soon as you get comfortable, they pull the rug on you. All right. Wow, since I went in a different order tonight, I have to go back to Solar. Holding up, 100-day. We said, it looks undeterminable in the sense like if it breaks, cool, and if it holds, it's cool. It's just at these points you don't freaking know. ENPH popped again, chopped around, holding the 20-day. I'd really like to see another big breakout, fake out with volume. Sedgerton, Sage, holding and chopping around support zone. Looks like a monster head and shoulders. First Solar got no love still. No love. Doji. Baby, don't hurt me. No more. Maybe it needs to hit the channel lows. I don't know. Interesting. Great trade if you short up top. We missed that. Again, you missed some balls. It's like playing baseball. Every once in a while, you're going to make an error. Especially when you're the best fielder and, you got a gold glove. Even if you are, you're still going to make an error. We'll see what happens here. That's tough. HYG, we talk about the watch corporate debt just to see what's up. Seems to be holding. Let's end it on oil. All this stuff going on with Keystone Pipeline. Not surprised you got a little bounce. Watch what happens when it hits Senior 65. Is this the bottom? I don't know. But we showed you that reoccurring pattern with oil can chop December, bottom in January. It just depends on the market, y'all. And I know a lot of people are just like, Well, I gotta make a stand. You know, I gotta call the market's bluff, or I gotta put my money in the pot. And it's like, do you? Okay, well, see, I wish people luck. UNG popped. Man, it got back over 21. Look at that. This is tough, y'all. I mean, natural gas is just a wild beast. I mean, at this point, you can't chase this stuff, right? Just watch. XOP, just watch. As you might imagine, 155 down to at some point 130 bounces. Not surprised. Watch what happens against the 200-day. Watch what happens in general. I still think it could go lower in time if oil and gas come back down. ExxonMobil up, not solid. No, solid 2.18% today in a choppy zone. I don't know. Occidental, it's an Occident. If it rallied, no, I'm just kidding. It hit the 200-day. Not surprised. Dividend, XDiv, chopping. EQT, someone asking about that one today. I mean, I just struggle with these guys. Like, they can't make money now because their derivatives units losing $5 billion. Was it a quarter? Something stupid. Now, again, no one's going to argue natural gas is hard to trade, but damn, that's a lot. So we'll see if they can get their mojo back. I mean, I'd probably be waiting more for the low 30s. Let's end it on PX Dizzle. PXD. Again, down big, rallies back, holds some bars, fills the gap. Are you surprised? No. Big red 2-day. Big red 2-day. I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right. If you got any questions, please hit me up. I appreciate everybody. Again, be thinking about real estate. I'm telling you, a lot of people are just like, I'm going to wait. Do me a favor. Reach out if you have any desire to get into real estate and talk to me. Because right now, if interest rates go lower, TLT higher, and the market is in free fall, scared, crapless, you are going to be able to get incredible seller concessions. You're going to be able to get incredible deals in the market. And maybe if you're lucky, you will catch the absolute best time to buy. When interest rates spiked lower in 2008, 2009, and then went higher, you had a couple months where you could score premium properties at incredible deals. Now people say, oh, didn't the market go lower? And then, all right, housing market was different. We have supply constraints now. If interest rates go lower, you absolutely have to get pre-qualified and get ahead of yourself and be ready, because you're not going to be able to pick a property in a day or a week. So let me know how I can help. I appreciate everybody. Goal is 10 properties, 10 years, passive income. Turn your paper profits into real assets. Having the biggest trading account in the world, it just means more losses when you're wrong. Always tells people, especially if you're trading options account, like, take that freaking money out. Pay yourself. Pay your taxes. If you want to chip off a donation to your homie here, I appreciate it. If not, buy some silver and gold. Invest in housing. I'm telling you, people always need a place to live. Worst case scenario is what? What's the worst case scenario? If you can't honestly say it's that bad, then you need to think about that, because ultimately people will always need a place to live. They will not always need ABC, stock ticker, or commodity, or whatever you're thinking. All right, talk to you later. Peace. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.